תוציא את זה.
מה?
תוציא את זה.
מההתחלה?
דברי ככה. כן.
You're recording? אוקיי. רגע, זה כלום אצלי? זה היה מודלק? טוב, בואו נתחיל עוד הפעם. את מדליקה את זה?
זה דלוק.
Okay, good evening, dear ladies. Let's bless again because it's not recorded and I want all the viewers also to hear the blessing. שיתגלה, משיח צדקנו במהרה בימינו אמן, שהגיע מבשר אליהו נביא אליהו תשבי אליהו גלדי, במהרה ממשך דוד אליהו נביא זכור לטוב. Hashem gave us the zchut twice to bless it. ברוך השם. So like the Rashid, bet twice, 2 times. So I'm reminding you about Parashat Vayera. Please go to rabbanit.com or torahanytime.com and you'll have Var Torah for Parashat Vayera. Hashem gave me the zchut to give lessons about it, about the parasha, so please enjoy. And another thing, this Shabbat is Shabbat Mevarchim Rosh Chodesh Shvat. We are blessing the month of Shvat. So I'm reminding you, the Arizal says, why do the children of Israel daven and the davening is not answered? Why are they praying and the praying is not answered? Because they don't know how to visualize the right name of Hashem for each month. Because King David says in Tehillim chapter 91, it says, Ki bi chashak ba'apalteu asagveu ki yada shmi, yikraeni ba'eno. Hashem says, I will help him because he knew my name. He will call me and I will answer him. What name? The name of Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, of mercy, the name of Hashem, but the combination of the name of Hashem for each month. So the month of Nisan is exactly like it's written in the Siddur, Yud Kei Vav Kei. But for the month of Shvat, the Arizal says, it comes from the Pasuk, Hamer Yamirinu V'hayahu, and the combination is, and I'm reminding you, where do we say that? On Musaf Shel Rosh Chodesh, dear ladies, Musaf Shel Rosh Chodesh, when we say, Baruch Ata Hashem, Baruch Ata Hashem, Mekadesh, Israel, V'Rashei Chodashim. It's on Tfilat Shmona Esra, the middle of the davening of Tfilat Shmona Esra of Musaf, we have Baruch Ata Hashem, bless you Hashem, who sanctifies Israel and the first days of the month. Over here we stop and we just visualize the right combination of the name of Hashem for this month, the coming month. It's a big skula. It opens the tube of prosperity for not only for us, for Klal Yisrael, for Parnasa, for Zivugim, for children, for everything that we need, health, everything that any person needs as a basic needs, dear ladies, and more than that. So if we don't say Musaf, tell your husbands, your children, your sons that go to yeshiva to just concentrate on the name of Hashem for the month of Shvat. We can do it only on Musaf of Rosh Chodesh. After that we cannot do it, only the Musaf of Rosh Chodesh. And we don't say it in our mouth, we just visualize the letters. So dear ladies, the first name is Yud Kei Vav Kei, and when I write Kuf, it's a Hey, but I cannot write it on the board. You see, it's a Hey, but I cannot write it on the board, otherwise I cannot wipe the board. So it's Kuf, Yud, Va, and the letter Vav and the letter Kuf. This is the first name. You just visualize, you don't take it out of your mind, you just see it in front of your eyes, the letters. And the second name is the name of Tshuva. You remember Parashat Shmot, last week we studied. Hashem says his name is Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. So this is the name of Tshuva of Hashem. So the combination for the month of Shvat is Kuf, the letter Aleph, the letter Yud, and the letter Kuf. Okay, those are the 2 names for the month of Shvat. We need to visualize when we say Baruch Ata Hashem Mekadesh Israel V'Rashei Chodashim. So please remember, if you don't say it, give it to your husbands, to people who do say it. It's a big mitzvah to say it. It's a big zchut, dear ladies. So now, b'siyata d'ishmaya, we're going to speak al Ayin Hora. B'siyata d'ishmaya, dear ladies, I hope Hashem, B'ezrat Hashem, will reveal Mashiach now. I will not wait with it any second, any split of a second. Ayin Hora, is there Ayin Hora? Is there evil eye, or isn't it? Is it just דעה קדומה, you know, איך זה נקרא דעה קדומה?
Superstition.
Superstition or not, dear ladies? תודה, שכחתי את המילה. So we're going to answer it right now. And we're going to do it by Me'am Lo'ez, we're going to do it by stories from the Mikra, we're going just to travel through all the Tanakh, and we're going to have also the Siyata Dishmea Skulot. If it is, we need to have Skulot to be protected from it. And if the Chamsa, 5 hands, does it mean something? Or it's just superstition? Is that number 5 is very important for Ayin Hora or not? So we're going to study all of these in 2 lessons. This is the beginning, the opening lesson, and then there will be another lesson. Please come and write notes. Remember that when you're writing during a Shiur Torah, and you have a notebook, and you write, and you do an effort, after a long life in this world, when you pass to the true world, the angels come with a notebook and show Hashem what kind of effort you did in order to know His Torah, to praise His name. All of these notebooks come in front of Hashem. So please, if you write, put it in a notebook, and don't forget, dear ladies, it's testimony in front of Hashem. So first of all, in Masechet Baba Metzia, in the Gemara, page 107, it says, "Ve'esir Hashem imcha kol choli," and Hashem will take all the sickness out of you. And Amar Rav, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, zo ayin. Very weird, nachon? This is an eye. So Rashi says, I wrote only a few things over here, but you'll have to write it with me because I'm going to give you without writing, because there's a lot of things to write on the board. Rashi says about, what does it mean, kol choli, sickness? דבר שכל החולאים תלויים בו, a thing that all of the sicknesses depend on, וזו עין הרע. Evil eye. All of the sicknesses, he says, depend on is evil eye. So, it's a dear lady, Rav, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, it says, this is in Baba Metzia, page 107, he knew how to say lechishot, the names of Hashem, and to say a few things, that he went to a graveyard, to a cemetery, and over there he said something, and then he went through each grave, and each grave, and he told the rabbis, he said, Tzadik Tet metu be'ayin hara, 99% of the people that are buried here died because of evil eye, ve'echad b'derech eretz, and only 1 died as a natural death. But 99%, he says, that of the people that are buried in the cemetery died before their time because evil inclination, evil eye. Ayin Hora, can I say Ayin Hora? That's okay with you? Ayin Hora, everybody understands. Ayin Hora is evil eye, okay? So זאת אומרת 99% Ayin Hora and only 1% דרך ארץ. Natural cause. כן. תארו לכם מה זה. So now let's go, please, through the books. And I would like to give you examples. Before we continue, I want to give you examples. We know that Nebuchadnezzar took Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah. You remember? Daniel, the prophet, was in the time of Nebuchadnezzar. We have a lesson about the dream of Nebuchadnezzar and how Daniel, the prophet, solved the dream. It was the statue, you remember? And we are now at the toes of the statue. We are at the end before Mashiach Mamash. So the 3 of them, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, was thrown into Kibshan Ha'esh, into the fire. And all of them went out of the fire alive. Nothing happened to them. Just like Abraham Avinu. But look what the Midrash says in Amnoez. He says like this, Af al pi shenitzlu min ha'esh, even though they were saved from the fire, v'nisharu b'chaim, and they were alive. Look at what miracle they had. Metu me'ayin hara. They passed away because of Ayin Hora. Because an evil idea, even though why? Because people who saw the miracle, they had envy of them, and they passed away because of this envy. And let's continue. This is one example. It says, dear ladies, I wrote it over here, Yaakov Avinu, Be'alkut Shimoni says, Yaakov Avinu says to his sons, you're going to Egypt, I don't want you to go through one gate, all of you. Each one of you will go through a different gate. Why? Because it says, I don't want Ayin Hora, evil eye, to be upon you. So you will go, each one of you, through different gates. How do we know that they went through different gates? Because Yosef tells them, and they don't know that this is Yosef, he says, you are spies. מרגלים אתם, באתם לרגל את הארץ. You came to spy this land. Why did you come through different gates? And Yaakov Avinu says you have to go through different gates because bli Ayin Hora, you are big and you are strong and I don't want them to see all of you. Together. And Yosef HaTzadik did not take all of his brothers in front of Paro because he knew that Paro had Ayin Hora. So he took only 5, the number 5 brothers into Paro to show only 5. Chamsa. Only 5 brothers. He didn't took all of his brothers. He left them with his father. He took only 5 over there to show Paro in order that no Ayin Hora will be upon them. And dear ladies, it says the first tablets, Luchot HaRishonim, Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to go down with the first tablets. It says in the Midrash, the Yalkut Shimoni, Parashat Miketz, that the first tablets were broken because of Ayin Hora. Because all of the angels and also the evil inclination, Yetzer Hara, was very envious of the children of Israel that are going to get the 10 Commandments. So because of this, they fell with the sin of the golden cloth, because Ayin Hora, dear ladies. Then Katuv Yerushalayim Charba Mipnei Ha'ayin. And Yerushalayim, there was the ruining of the temple and conquering Yerushalayim because of Ayin Hora. Because everybody that saw, the people that saw Yerushalayim, this is the beauty of the world. Yerushalayim, Jerusalem, was the most beautiful place in the world. So everybody that came felt that this is the most beautiful place in the world and had its eye upon it, dear ladies. So this is one of these are part of the reasons of the ruining of the temple and Yerushalayim, Ayin Hora. Because they were envious of the children of Israel that had the zchut, the merit, to be the firstborn of Hashem. And this is the thing that continues until today. So let's continue to Siyata Lishma and see other stories in the Midrash Memikah. It says, dear ladies, that after Akedat Yitzchak, when Abraham Avinu took Yitzchak and put him on the altar and took the cherev in order to put him as a sacrifice, and the angel stopped him. He called him Abraham. He stopped him. Then the Midrash says that part of the Midrash says that he went to paradise because he did cut him. He did started cutting him, so he went to be healed in Gan Eden, in paradise. And then when he came, dear ladies, Abraham Avinu he hid him because he didn't want Ishmael and Eliezer to see him, because he didn't want their eyes to be upon him. So there won't be any Ayin Hora on him. So it says here, in Me'am Lo'ez, dear ladies, כתוב שבשעה שיצחק נשאר חי מן העקדה, הלך והביאו בלילה, so he took him at night, לישיבה של שם בן נוח, to the yeshiva of Shem ben Noach, שלא רצה שיסתכלו בו אפילו ישמעאל ואליעזר. That he didn't want the eyes of Ishmael and Eliezer to be upon him. לפי שהיה חושש מהעין הרע. נכון? Incredible?
Even Eliezer.
Yes, he was afraid because Eliezer wanted Yitzchak for his daughter. So he was afraid that everybody has his own benda, own issues. So, and then, dear ladies, you remember Elisha. Elisha the prophet, which was the student of Eliyahu Navi. And you remember that there was a woman that came to him. She was married to Obadiah the prophet. Obadiah the prophet was a girl. He converted to Judaism. He was so righteous. He lived in the times of Achav, Melech Israel. Achav, dear ladies, was the king of the Israelites, the 10 tribes. It was divided, the kingdom, to Yehuda and to Israel. Achav and Izebel were ruling Israel. And he was at that time, he was the Sar Otzar, manager of all the treasure of Achav. And he hid 100 prophets and he hid him in 2 caves, and he gave them food, and he gave them oil to put candles in order that they will have light to study Torah. During all of his lifetime, all of his money was spent for these righteous prophets. And then once he didn't have money, he took loans from Achab the king. He passed away, and his son Yehoram was ruling after him, but he did not succeed like his father. So he asked all of the people over there to advise him what to do. How come my father did not do what Hashem wanted and still he succeeded, and I want to follow his ways and I'm not succeeding? So they told him that he succeeded because he had Obadiah the prophet, who was responsible for the treasury. He was so righteous that Hashem gave him blessings. Hashem gave him blessings, dear ladies. So he said to himself, Obadiah has 2 sons. I will take his sons to work, to be in my palace, and they will be responsible for all the treasury. So, dear ladies, he went to the wife of Obadiah and he said to her, listen, these are the treaty of all the things that you owe me, Zachobot, and either you pay me all the money that you owe me, and this with interest, and if you can't pay me, you have to give me your 2 sons. I will make them like kings, but they will be responsible for my treasury. And she said no, she didn't agree. She said, my sons will not worship other gods. I won't let them to be with a king that worships other gods. He says, okay, you'll have to pay me everything that you owe me. She didn't know what to do. He sent his soldiers to her house. He wanted to take her sons, and she told him to give her time. She went to the cemetery, the Beit HaChaim, and over there she started shouting, Obadiah, Obadiah. And the angel that is responsible for the cemetery said, which Obadiah do you mean? There are a lot of Obadiah buried over here. So she said, Obadiah the righteous, the only one that is me'od yareh Hashem, that was very righteous, had the fear of Hashem upon him. So dear, please take a chance. So dear ladies, he told her, this is where he is. She went over there and she shouted, Obadiah, Obadiah, how can you leave me alone? The son of Achab wants to take your children and you left me with debts and I cannot pay them. We don't have anything at home. So she heard her husband that is buried is telling her, go to Elisha the prophet, he will help you. So she went to the prophet Elisha, and over there he asks her, what do you want? Do you need my help? She says, yes, I am the wife of Obadiah who used to help the 100 prophets. The 100 prophets that were hidden in 2 cages. And my husband gave all of his money and also took loans from Achab, the king, and now I don't have money to pay, and Achab wants to take my 2 sons to his palace where they have over here, they worship other gods in his palace, and I don't want them to be there. I want them to grow and study Torah. Please help me, I don't have anything. So he says, what do you have at home? She says, the only thing I have is a small jar of oil that my husband, Obadiah the prophet, used to light the candles with it, for the prophets to study Torah at night. He says, okay, I want you to go home and to take from all of your neighbors jars and tell your sons to gather it from all of the neighbors. And then after you have it at home, I want you to close the door in order that nobody will see what's going on in the house, that the eye will not control what's going on in the house. No one. Then he says, I want you to stand in one place. Hold the jar in your hand, the jar with the oil, and start pouring it into the other jars. But you are not allowed to move from your place because it will be like a spring of oil. And spring doesn't move from place to place. You have to stand in the same place and Hashem will give the blessing in. Her sons gathered a lot of jars, a lot of big chaviyot, containers from all of the neighbors. So she took the jar that had oil in it and she started pouring it. And she saw that it didn't stop. She poured one and another. All of the jars were filled with oil. Then she told her sons, you know what, if it's like this, she didn't have more containers, but there were broken containers. She said, bring them. we'll try to put it, this is a miracle, it will happen also on them. She poured into the broken ones, and there was again a miracle. Hashem just completed everything. And this is a big miracle. You know, it says about, I'm just putting you in a different place for a minute. You know, Dan, the son of Yaakov, had only one son. His name was Chushim. Chushim means senses. Chushim. And I'm telling you, just to show you that the broken ones became a whole, to show you what the kind of miracles Hashem does. So when his wife gave birth, she gave birth only, lo alenu, to like a flesh, a basar, flesh. מה? No, flesh, ממש flesh. She gave birth, it wasn't a child. A flesh לא עלינו, רק בשר.
Dan's wife?
Dan's wife. He came to Yaakov Avinu with it, and he was crying, and he said, what's this? That's not a human being.